Okay, what is up, y'all? So I just saw an announcement for the Sony Alpha 1, and I thought I might as well just make a quick face cam style reaction. So let me show you how this thing's looking. Apparently, it has so the Sony Alpha 1, and this just came out. Like, I tried to look for sources. The only one I could find was Petapixel, and then actually the Sony straight up like website, like the Sony YouTube channel. So we have the Alpha 1 has 50 megapixels, which I don't even understand. It's like 50 megapixels up to 30 FPS at 8K, and it's about the same amount for the A7S III. I would rather get the A7S III. I mean, the low light alone is worth it, but like it's crazy thinking like they're just pumping out 8K like mirrorless cameras. Like, look at all this. It has a dual sensor. Like, we'll get into this in the video, but like it's ridiculous. Like, it's just crazy how much they're fitting into the same form factor. It's got an Ethernet port. What? Okay, we'll save this for later. Let's watch the actual video first, and then we'll talk about all that. Okay, so time to jump in. I'll cut the lo-fi hip hop and we'll just go right into the video. Okay, the one. Wow, they're really leaving all their other stuff behind. Okay, so AF 120 times a second. Crazy. No blackout. 120 FPS refresh rate. Viewfinder. 8K. 8K. That is crazy. Okay, I had to stop here. Wait, no. Go back. I don't know what kind of benchmark this is supposed to be, that apparently they can just, they're just showing this photo of somebody's behind and just being like, this is the future right now. I really just don't, I don't remotely understand why they decided to do that, like as the first picture of their new groundbreaking Alpha 1 camera. This is ridiculous. Okay, that's better. That looks at least a little better. And then you get all those nice little dots in there. The same body we've seen over and over again. Okay, so 50 megapixels. There we go. Unprecedented resolution and speed. Okay, I mean, cool. 15 stops of dynamic range. There we go. Now we're getting into the actual, like, nitty gritty. Now they're playing with the big dogs. Okay, so 50 FPS on photo. So this seems like more of an actual photo camera. Like, that's the main thing that they're trying to push, is having I'd say that this would rival like the A9 probably, because like I can't imagine like the 8K resolution. A lot of this resolution, the thing that's funny about it and having more megapixels and stuff like that, is that this is way better for photo. It's not that good for video, because the problem that we're getting into is that if you have all of those megapixels, then you might have more noise in your image. It might be harder to get rid of, or you might just need DaVinci Resolve's Pro, like the noise reduction. So the more megapixels we have, the less we're actually getting like really cool video. And it's fine, like it looks crisp and nice, but like it works really good for photos, because each photo you don't see all that noise that might come in. So this looks great. I mean, at 30 FPS for photos, that's like crazy. This is getting insane. I think like some of the other cameras that they have do like maybe 10 FPS, maybe even slower. So like this is getting in there. This is getting good for photography. Okay. 30 FPS. Oh, so it fields like 120 times a second, and then gets you those smaller bursts. Okay. Blackout free. Oh, that's good. I like that. So there's no blackout when you're taking photos. That's great. Okay. So flash sync, nice. That's always good. So your dual driven shutter. Okay. So does that mean that like two shutters come out at once? Silent shutter, that's good. That's crazy. I mean, like, that's interesting, because like Sony's never really had like a silent shutter. Mostly the shutters, let me read. Okay, there we go. Now it was better. But that's the thing about Sony cameras that's really surprising to me about this one, is that they have like a silent shooting mode, but they don't really have the quote-unquote silent shutter. Like when you take a photo, you still hear it and stuff like that. It's very quick, but it's usually like far quieter than like a Nikon or a Canon. So like these are amazing. Like I mean I really love Sony. I'm a Sony fanboy, or else I wouldn't be making this video. Okay, let's see here. Improved anti-distortion shutter. That's good. Okay, cool. So we don't see this little ridiculous thing. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, I can get behind that. Oh yeah, they had to zoom in to show you. Flicker. Oh boy, bro, flicker free. How? How? Oh, it says simulated, but like how though? Okay, I need to see that like in action. It's got a lot of AF, real-time tracking. Yeah, I mean we've seen that before. IF for birds is pretty good because birds have tiny eyes. That's pretty good. Involve real life. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm into it. Sony's been getting really good with their eye tracking, honestly, like in the more recent cameras that they've had. Yeah, so this is the weird thing. Everything that they've showed so far is like really good for photography, like amazing. 8K at 30 FPS, I don't know like how that fits in with this because I'm curious how that rivals like other cameras that are at 8K right now, or like the Ursa that's at 12K, but I heard that 12K is not great. So that's my thing, is that like when they push all these cameras to be that good and have that extra feature and extra stuff in there, I'm curious how that actually works out for them, because then the problem is that like you might have a lot of noise, you might like have a lot of like, you can have 12K or 8K, but it might not look that good. Case in point, like you'll see like these GoPro knockoffs. I bought one like way back when, and like it'll say 4K. It's real bad. I don't recommend it. So that's interesting to me that they're like trying to push this, just like kind of with the Ursa and the other things, that like, hey, we have 8K, but like, is it stable and really good for video, kind of thing. Okay, 4K to 120, nice. I don't know what that asterisk is about, but okay, cinematic look. That's okay. So the thing about a lot of Sonys in general is that they have that quote-unquote cinematic look, but they don't have that straight up like, oh, and I get a loud notification. They don't have that like exact raw feature, and the problem with that is that it looks fine, but it's not like raw. Like it doesn't give you like all the ability to change stuff. And that works okay. The problem is that with RAW, it's very light on your computer. The more that you use like H.265 and like those kind of codecs, it'll weigh down your computer. So it might just, it might say like, hey, it's got Cine-like stuff, but that might be really hard on your computer because it's not actually RAW. So I'm kind of wary of that when it comes to Sony's now. And I mean, like I use like DJI Mavic 2, and the H.265 on that is so beautiful, and it will destroy my computer. So I'm a little wary of that kind of stuff. Okay, got 10-bit, not bad. 422, pretty good. Yeah, see, we have the gamut, but we don't really have the, oh, an HDR shooting. Okay. Good, we have a lot of her in the shadow, but the background was well lit. Jeez. Okay, I have never tried the quote-unquote creative looks with Sony. They're throwing a lot at us right now. That's really good. So, okay, I hate these asterisks. Like, I really hate the fact that they keep having these asterisks, because Sony already has, like, a stabilization mode that you can do where you take the video and then you put it back in your computer, and that way it stabilizes it in post. And it's actually really, really amazing and better than in body. The problem is that like you need to put it in your computer, and if you do in-body image stabilization, then you can't do the stuff with your computer. So which one are they talking about? Like, this is really cool and it's like a 5-minute showcase, but like I'm not really learning too much about like the logistics of how a lot of this works. And it just goes to show that like apparently this camera has so much that they can't even explain all that in these like 5 minutes for this showcase, which is kind of ridiculous, honestly. Okay, see the body. Nice, it's got a hot shoe mount for that good digital audio. Okay, now this is weird, and it makes sense for like how much they've been doing with the different cameras, that they don't have a flip out screen, especially for photography. I'm curious why they did that. Like, I get that the heat dissipation, it all makes sense like for this thing, but is that really that impactful? Like, they couldn't have swung it out and had this same heat dissipation. That's really weird because all of their new cameras have the flip out screen, not the flip up screen, or flip down or whatever. So that's so weird that they would do it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they do that. Huh. Okay, so 120 FPS on the EVF. Okay, so it does have its own in-body image stabilization. I don't know if that's the same as they showed us before. Type A, yes, full-size HDMI, thank you. Okay, and 10 gigabit. Now, I'm curious, and I mean, they might talk about it in a second, but I'm curious if the Ethernet actually is for tethering, or what in particular it's for. And it's got nice fast Wi-Fi, which would be nice to do some like wireless. Yeah, see, FTP, so you can do like wireless tethering, hopefully. Yep, there we go. USB tethering. Nice. On a 5G smartphone? That's interesting. Dual CF cards. Okay. So this is looking very similar to the A7S III. The exact same kind of cards as before. Okay. And a durable magnesium alloy chassis. I was not going to ask, so thank you for letting me know, Sony. High reliable mechanical shutter. Cool. Now I'm curious, it showed the one shutter. They showed before that it had like a dual shutter, so I'm curious where the dual shutter comes in, like what that even means. We got a battery grip. Always need that, which is good. It's dust protective. It doesn't look like it's weatherproof. And customizable functions. Cool. 17 buttons. That's nice. And, ooh, lossless rod. This is really good. So this is where the photography stuff comes in. This stuff is actually really important for photography, and you usually don't see it on, like, the other Sony cameras, like, or at least that I use, like the A7S III and stuff like that. So that's good that they have that in there. Like, oh, well, duh, it's good. I mean, like, it seems like a photo camera. So they really have those pro features in there. And there it is. The Alpha 1. Oops, Sony. Yeah, I'm a Sony shill. I'm sorry. Okay, cool. Now we can get out of there and jump into here. So yeah, now we have the actual camera itself. And I mean, like, I'll see if we can find any answers for those things that I was asking, like, during the actual video. But yeah, apparently, like, yeah, this autofocus is just crazy. Like, 120 per second, double the speed of the A9 II, Alpha 9 II. It's crazy. Like, yeah, all this ridiculous... like the viewfinder is super important for photography. Like, this definitely looks like a photo camera. I'm curious where the videographers, and look at all this AF, look at all that autofocus, 92% coverage, beautiful. I'm very curious how the videographers, see, it says professional video in quotation marks, okay, because I want to see how people use it. Like an 8.6K oversampling to 8K, that's crazy. 4K 120. That's amazing. But like on a lot of these, you'll get that ability to do it, but it's just not like the problem is that it's not exactly the kind that, not the kind you're looking for. But I mean, the main issue is that like you get that ability to do 120 FPS, but sometimes it's just not to the same quality. Like they're really pushing the sensor. It doesn't look that great. Canon usually has more problem with that than Sony. I'm just really wary because this looks too good to be true is the problem. Like, it's coming out in March, $6,500, but I really can't wait for it to be in the hands of like testers and people that can really show us how good it's going to look. So yeah, I think those are all my thoughts on the Alpha 1. Alpha 1. They're really saying like, hey, you know all that other stuff? That's just crap. This is the big boy. I don't even know what this is for. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what else comes out of here. And yeah, this is just crazy. So we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around.